Carlos Batang Francisco, born in November 4, 1912, died in March 31, 1969. He is a national artist for visual arts. He is the poet of Angono. Francisco turned fragments of the historic past into vivid records of legendary courage of the ancestors of his race. He was invariably linked with the modernist artists, forming with Victorio C. Idades and Galo Campo, what was then known in the local art circles as the triumvirate. Botton's unerring eye for composition, the lush tropical sense of color, and abiding faith in the folk values typified by the townspeople of Angono became the hallmark of his art. His great works include portrayals of the Blood Compact, First Mass of Limasawa, the Martyrdom of Rizal, Bayanihan, Magpupukot, Fiesta, Bayanihan sa Bukid, Sandugo, Portrait of Purita, The Invasion of Limahong, Serenade, and Muslim Betrothal. Some of his murals have suffered big damage over the years. The pageant of Khmers emerged from several years of restoration in 2000. Botong died on March 31, 1969 in Angono, Rizal, Philippines, resting at Angono Catholic Cemetery, Angono, Rizal.
Pablo S. Antonio is a Filipino architect. He was born on January 25, 1901 in Binondo, Manila. He was an orphan at the age of 12, where his father was already 60, and he was born to a 16-year-old mother, Maria Severo, who died on her third pregnancy, and he was only 3 years old, and his father died on the age of 72. He had to work in daytime in order to finish his high school and attended school at night. Pablo spent his free time by doing sketches based on any available materials and become a lifetime hobby. He studied architecture and construction of engineering at Mapua Institute of Technology while working as a draftsman in Bureau of Public Works, but eventually dropped out of school. To pursue his dream on becoming professional, he worked at Santa Clara Construction Corporation, where he met Don Roman Alejandrino Arevalo, the engineer in charge of the legislative building projects. The rank and title of National Artist of the Philippines was conferred on him by the President Ferdinand Marcos in 1976. One of his works is the Ideal Theater. Antonio first came into the prominence in 1933 with the construction of the Ideal Theater along Avenida Rizal in Manila. The theater, owned by the Rosas family in partnership with Teoteco, Basa, Tuason, and Godotti families, has been operating since 1912. The first theater was made of wood. This type of architectural style was relevant in 1930s, whereas the cinemas and theaters were designed using the style. One of its interesting features is that it posted a streamlined design and it was adorned with a smooth curve and finishes. The theater was demolished in the late 1970s to give way to the construction of the department store, now present site of PhilTrust Bank Corredor branch. Nicanor Reyes Sr. was impressed by the design of the Ideal Theater and commissioned Antonio to design the new school complex in the same way. It is the school of Let's Go Tamarao, Let's Go Far Eastern University, or FEU. The service of architect of Pablo Antonio, who was later recognized as National Artist for Architecture, was obtained to design White Cross, which was aimed to be fresh air shelter for the children of the TB patients or tuberculosis patients. The building was an Art Deco design with facade shape like large white cross architectural style. Antonio was celebrated for his Art Deco style and stark modernism, a radical departure from the prevailing style of the time, neoclassicism. His work are defined by its clean lines, strong shapes, and simplicity.
Ronald Allen K. Poe, popularly known as Fernando Poe Jr., was a cultural icon of tremendous audience impact and cinema artist and craftsman. As actor, director, writer, and producer, he is one of our national artists for cinema.
Applause rang out at Malacanang's Rizal Hall as Susan Roses declared her family was finally accepting the National Artist Award for the late Fernando Poe Jr., which was first given by former President Gloria Arroyo in 2006.
He is known for playing low-abiding underdogs who only fights after the enemy has drawn first blood. In other words, if PJ's character do not strike first. More often than that, he has to undergo a lot of sufferings inflicted by villains and their minions before he goes after them. It's like he's making sure he has the right to karmic retribution. If PJ was known for his trademark, a rapid-fire punching style, wherein he would go to town on a villain's stomach and then finish it off by hitting the villains on the head with both hands on either sides. The image of the underdog was projected on his films such as Poe was born in Manila on August 20, 1939. After the death of his father, he dropped out of the University of the East in his sophomore year to support his family. He was the second of 6 siblings. He married actress Susan Roses in a civil ceremony in December 1968. He died on December 14, 2004.
Comedies Nick Marquez Joaquin was a Filipino writer and journalist best known for his short stories and novels in the English language. He also wrote using the pen name Quijano de Manila. Joaquin was conferred the rank and title of National Artist of the Philippines for Literature. Nick Joaquin was awarded a scholarship to the Dominican Monastery in Hong Kong after publication of Essay La Naval de Manila, 1942, a description of Manila's fabled resistance to 7th century Dutch invaders. After World War II, he traveled to the United States, Mexico, and Spain, later serving as a cultural representative of the Philippines at Taiwan, Cuba, and China. Starting as a proofreader for the Philippines Free Press, Joaquin rose to contributing editor and essayist under the nom de plume Quijano de Manila. Manila old-timer, he was well known as a historian of the brief golden age of Spain in the Philippines, as a writer of short stories suffused with folk, Roman Catholicism, as a playwright, and as a novelist. Joaquin wrote his works in English.
Maria Lea Carmen Salonga is a Filipino singer and actress, best known for her roles in musical theater, for supplying the singing voices of 2 Disney princesses, and as a recording artist television performer. She was born on February 22, 1971, Ermita Manila, and her husband is Robert Charles Chi. She was awarded What's on Stage Awards for the Best Ensemble Performance and a lot to mention. Her genre is OPM, pop musical theater. Aside from singing, she was also a actress. Multiple award-winning actress and singer Lea Salonga is renowned across the world for her powerful voice and perfect pitch. She is best known for her Tony Award-winning role in Miss Saigon. In her 40-year career, Lea has performed for 6 Philippine presidents from Ferdinand Marcos to Benigno Aquino III. She was also popular to the other country for her music. An avid teacher and gamer, Lea divided her time between Manila, Philippines with her family and the United States.
Leonor Orosa Coquinco, aka Cristina Luna, dubbed as the Trailblazer, Mother of Philippine Theater Dance, and Dean of Filipino Performing Arts Critics. She founded the Filipinescas Dance Company and the Philippine Theater Dance Group in 1958.
Honorata de la Rama, or also known as Atang, one of our national artists for theater and music. She was born on the 11th day of January 1902 in Pandacan, Manila, Philippines. She married Amado Hernandez, also one of our national artists for literature. She was an orphan at an early age. She grew up under the care of an older sister who was married to a zarzuela composer, where she was constantly exposed to the zarzuela. She counts the role of an orphan in Pangarap ni Rosa as her most rewarding and satisfying role that she played with realism. The stage sparkling with silver coins tossed by a teary-eyed audience. She has performed Kundiman and other Filipino songs for Aitas or Negritos of Zambales and the Sierra Madre, the Bagobos of Davao, and other tribes of Mindanao. She was the Philippines' most celebrated vaudeville actress. And as a queen of zarzuela, she starred in more than 50 zarzuelas.